Sunny Hostin, her husband accused of committing federal insurance fraud in a lawsuit.
Imagine waking up one morning to discover that everything you've built, your marriage, your career, and your public reputation, could be on the verge of collapse. That's the situation people are whispering about when it comes to Sunny Hostin. Rumors are swirling that her husband, once a respected surgeon, has been pulled into a massive lawsuit involving allegations of insurance fraud, one so serious that it could bankrupt them both. And to make matters worse, insiders claim he's secretly cooperating with federal agents. Is he cutting a deal to save himself at Sunny's expense? This isn't just another celebrity scandal. It's a tangle of legal drama, possible betrayal, and eye-popping allegations that stretch far beyond tabloid gossip. Fans know Sunny as a tough-talking legal mind on daytime TV, but now the spotlight has flipped back on her personal life. Could her husband's troubles drag her into the legal crossfire? Is this the end of the power couple's immaculate public image? Get ready for revelations that might change everything you thought you knew about Sunny Hostin, because if the rumors are true, the fallout could be devastating, and this is only the beginning.
Sunny's dumb. Certainly not the brightest person. And what she just said just doesn't make any sense. It's just like so silly to say. It's not a well thought out. It's like if you had an idea for a premise and it was totally baked and half baked and you went on stage with it and it's nothing.
Sunny Hostin is accused in December. Lawsuit fraudulently billing. The lawsuit alleges Hostin knowingly provided fraudulent medical and other healthcare services in exchange for kickbacks and or compensation, and names him among nearly 200 defendants in one of New York's largest RICO cases. Wow. Hostin's attorney, Daniel Twites, denies the allegations, calling the lawsuit a meritless attempt by a near-bankrupt insurance carrier to intimidate doctors and restrict healthcare benefits.
From the outside, Dr. Emmanuel Manny Hostin seemed to have everything in order: a successful medical career, a thriving orthopedic practice, and a well-respected place in his community. He was known for his gentle bedside manner, meticulous surgical skills, and the unwavering support he offered his high-profile wife. Their marriage looked rock solid, at least to fans who saw Sunny praise Manny whenever she got the chance. Yet, when news of a massive legal action broke, the unblemished image of Dr. Hostin was called into question. At the core of this lawsuit are allegations so vast they border on the unbelievable. Multiple insurance providers, emboldened by RICO statutes typically reserved for organized crime, allege that Manny knowingly engaged in billing fraud, kickbacks, and other unethical practices. They claim that over the course of several years, these tactics racked up staggering sums, possibly climbing into the hundreds of millions of dollars in damages. In simpler terms, Manny is accused of performing procedures that might have been unnecessary, all to squeeze more money out of insurance companies. If proven true, these allegations would level a death blow not only to his career, but also to the family's finances. Court documents, as reported, point to a pattern of behavior involving multiple medical practitioners operating as a network. The complaint spans hundreds of pages, naming numerous defendants alongside Manny. The sheer scale of the case has left legal observers shaking their heads. RICO charges allow for the tripling of damages if wrongdoing is proven, meaning the financial fallout could be astronomical. For an individual like Manny, who's not typically the target of such intense legal scrutiny, the very presence of RICO charges implies the authorities believe a web of corruption was in play. While Manny continues to deny any wrongdoing, stating through his legal team that these allegations are baseless and scattershot, insurance companies are pressing forward. They argue there is enough evidence, including patient records, billing statements, and suspicious financial transfers, to demonstrate a pattern of fraud. The complaint outlines cases where patients involved in minor traffic accidents allegedly received invasive surgeries that might have been unnecessary. Though Manny's defense stresses he operated according to ethical guidelines, the insurance companies maintain their stance that these red flags can't be mere coincidences. For those following the story, a major point of intrigue is the couple's lifestyle. Sunny has never hidden her fondness for the finer things: beautiful homes, travel, and a comfortable standard of living. Critics now question how much of that could be attributed to Manny's alleged billing practices. While skepticism about wealthy doctors' finances isn't new, the scale of this particular lawsuit and its potential to wipe out the Hostin's assets has given even casual observers pause. Yet, legal watchers caution that allegations alone don't guarantee a verdict. Fraud cases, especially those involving complicated medical billing, are notoriously difficult to prove. Manny's attorneys will likely emphasize the complexities of insurance claims, portraying the entire ordeal as a misunderstanding or a ploy by an embattled insurer to recoup losses. Defendants in such sweeping lawsuits often rely on doubt, highlighting every procedural loophole to cast the plaintiff's claims as overblown or misinterpreted. Regardless of who ultimately wins, the lawsuit has already taken a toll. The family's name, once pristine, is becoming a focal point of gossip columns. Sunny, typically so composed on television, situation, now stands at the edge of a rapidly intensifying storm. And as details continue to emerge, new rumors keep swirling, perhaps the most dramatic being the claim that Manny might have cut a deal, setting off a chain reaction that threatens to swallow Sunny whole. Allegations of fraud are damaging enough, but the rumor that Manny might be cooperating with federal authorities takes the tension to a new level. According to whispers circulating in legal circles, Manny recognized that a conviction could mean devastating prison time, crippling financial penalties, and the abrupt end of his medical career. Confronted by co-defendants willing to flip, Manny may have chosen to jump before he was pushed. The speculation centers on a private agreement that Manny could have struck with the FBI or federal prosecutors. RICO cases can be extremely complex, and successful convictions often hinge on inside information. If Manny truly possesses incriminating evidence about others in the alleged fraud ring, be they doctors, clinic owners, or even broader organized networks, he'd have considerable leverage. But how would this choice affect Sunny? Under the law, Manny cannot directly testify against his wife in a manner that violates spousal privilege, especially when it concerns private conversations. Yet, that doesn't prevent him from offering documents, records, or other indirect evidence that might implicate Sunny, should she be involved or simply entangled in the finances. The rumor mill insists that Manny handed over reams of materials, everything from emails to billing logs. For Manny, the motivation seems obvious, a more lenient outcome for himself, possibly reducing the life-altering consequences of a guilty verdict. What's unclear is whether federal prosecutors suspect Sunny of wrongdoing or merely want a complete picture of Manny's financial dealings. The talk is that Manny's alleged deal involves significant forfeitures, possibly in the hundreds of millions, and that such a move could wipe out the Hostins' fortunes. If these murmurs hold any truth, Sunny's flamboyant existence, a life of well-tailored wardrobes, high-end vacations, and a seat at one of daytime TV's biggest roundtables, could be threatened in an instant. Questions abound. Did Manny feel cornered by the mounting evidence? Or was he lashing out at what some claim is a deteriorating marriage, aiming to protect himself even if it meant leaving Sunny in the crossfire? Is this rumored cooperation an act of betrayal, or a desperate attempt to salvage whatever remains of his future? Federal investigators aren't known for their sympathy. They tend to strike the toughest deals, particularly in wide-reaching conspiracies like the one Manny is accused of joining. Sunny, for her part, has publicly dismissed the allegations as outrageous. She said the rumors about Manny's supposed deal are simply attempts by a failing insurance corporation to stir up sensational headlines. She's threatened defamation lawsuits herself, maintaining that the Hostins are the targets of unscrupulous players looking to tear them down. Yet, in the court of public opinion, denials without evidence do little to quell speculation. Some viewers recall that Sunny, who made her name dissecting legal matters, often preaches that where there's smoke, there's fire. Now, many wonder if the heat is dangerously close to home. Meanwhile, media outlets haven't been shy about capitalizing on this drama. Tabloids run with headlines about Manny's secret FBI pact, painting a sensational portrait of a man so desperate to evade prosecution that he's willing to bring the mother of his children into the line of fire. Legal analysts on competing networks discuss the case as if it's the season finale of a primetime crime show, with Manny cast as the surprising informant. The truth might be more nuanced. Deals with prosecutors are rarely black and white, and Manny could simply be cooperating in a limited capacity, clarifying certain financial documents or refuting specific claims. Still, the possibility of Manny's partial admission or cooperation is enough to keep rumors spinning. If Manny is indeed providing evidence, there's no telling who might end up ensnared, and that's precisely why some suspect that even if Sunny remains legally unscathed, her reputation could take a hit no matter what.
I mean, I agree with mostly everything that's been said. I mean, we know that, only about 31% of Americans trust our healthcare system. We have a terrible healthcare system. Doctors suffer because of big corporations as well. Doctors that want to do good, like my husband.
From the start of her career, Sunny Hostin carved out a niche as a formidable attorney and media personality. She prided herself on fairness, a fierce sense of justice, and an unwavering moral compass. Now, those very qualities are being put under a microscope. Could Sunny, an outspoken legal commentator, really be unaware of or complicit in her husband's alleged schemes? In public statements, Sunny has maintained a steadfast posture, dismissing the entire case against Manny as baseless and driven by corporate greed. She has questioned the motivations of the insurance companies, arguing they are facing their own financial troubles and are using her celebrity status to whip up publicity. Moreover, she points to Manny's clean record until now, saying his track record of successful surgeries and patient testimonials should speak louder than any unproven allegations. Critics, however, wonder if Sunny's vocal defense might be masking a deeper involvement. Some observers note that Manny's success, if fueled by inflated bills, helped fund Sunny's lifestyle. Where does support and trust end and complicity begin? The question isn't necessarily whether Sunny was actively participating in fraudulent activities. No evidence has been made public to suggest that. Rather, skeptics ask whether she turned a blind eye or simply chose not to probe too deeply into the family's financial engine. On top of it all, rumors about the Hostins' strained marriage intensify these doubts. Insiders whisper that Manny feels Sunny is more concerned about her public image than his legal defense. There's talk of late-night arguments, hushed phone calls, and Manny's frustration at what he perceives as Sunny's emotional distance. Some stories go as far as alleging she might have a new romantic interest. Whether those rumors hold any truth or are simply tabloid tabloid fuel, the narrative suggests that Manny may not be feeling the warmth of unwavering support from his wife. Sunny, meanwhile, has struck back at any rumors about infidelity or marital discord, calling them pure fiction, designed to sell headlines. But the speculation persists. Critics argue that her constant presence on television, her well-documented social life, and her unflinching condemnation of Manny's accusers indicate an attempt to control the public narrative. They posit that if she were truly confident in Manny's innocence, she might show more willingness to engage with the specifics of the case, rather than attacking the insurance companies from a distance. Still, no official complaint directly implicating Sunny has surfaced, and the burden of proof rests on the entities making accusations. So far, her role, if any, remains undocumented in court records available to the public. It's crucial to remember that legal outcomes often diverge from media speculation. Sunny may be entirely uninvolved in Manny's alleged wrongdoing, or the extent of her knowledge could exist in a gray area. For legal experts, this is less about unequivocal guilt or innocence, and more about the complexities of sharing finances in professional worlds. At the same time, her critics in the audience recall how Sunny often lectures on moral clarity. She has never been shy about using her platform to criticize perceived injustices or to champion the downtrodden. Now she finds herself on the other side, facing insinuations about possible hypocrisy. It's a classic test of public figures who pride themselves on righteousness. How they react when the moral lens turns inward is a measure of their true character. The question many are asking: will Sunny's well-honed legal defense and bold persona be enough to preserve her reputation, or is she about to face a reckoning of her own? Beyond her husband's headline-stealing legal woes, Sunny Hostin also battles controversies of her own making. Over the past several months, two very public defamation suits have been swirling around her statements on The View. The first involves a figure known for his direct style and outspoken persona, Senator John Fetterman. The second brings in an unlikely antagonist, Melania Trump, the former First Lady. The Fetterman dispute erupted during what was supposed to be a routine hot topic segment on The View. Sunny, known for her candid takes, allegedly made remarks that Fetterman claims crossed a critical line, damaging his reputation and painting him in a false light. While the exact content of Sunny's comments remains sealed in legal documents, insiders say they involved not just political disagreements, but personal jabs. Fetterman's legal team wasted no time, filing suit against both Sunny and the show's producers, accusing them of failing to prevent what he views as reckless defamation. At first glance, one might dismiss this as the price of high-stakes political commentary. After all, public figures typically endure fierce criticism, yet defamation suits against television hosts can gain traction if it's argued that the statements were presented as factual rather than merely opinion. A successful lawsuit could cost Sunny and the network millions in damages, not to mention tarnish her credibility as a legal analyst. Sunny has fired back, labeling the suit a blatant attempt to silence her freedom of speech. Her supporters argue she's being targeted for her outspoken nature, a reason they say that Fetterman's team is making an example of her. The second defamation tangle is even more sensational: a rumored lawsuit from Melania Trump. If the buzz is accurate, the former First Lady took offense at comments Sunny made about her personal life during an on-air debate. Historically, The View has never been shy about critiquing the Trump family, but stepping into territory that might be construed as defamatory crosses a line. Speculation suggests Sunny questioned Melania's background or personal choices in a way that Trump's lawyers found unacceptable. Here, the stakes skyrocket because the Trump family isn't known for backing down from litigation. Melania famously pursued legal action against media outlets that made unverified claims about her career prior to becoming First Lady. If Melania's team perceives a genuine legal opening, Sunny and the show could be in for a protracted court battle. Much like the Fetterman dispute, the outcome depends on how Sunny framed her statements. Were they opinion, fair commentary, or reckless assertions with no factual grounding? Complicating matters is the possibility that these two legal storms could intersect. Both Fetterman and Melania Trump enjoy large followings, and each case raises questions about the boundaries of a daytime talk show. Is The View a forum for unfiltered banter among co-hosts and guests, or is it responsible for the legal weight of its commentary? Network executives at ABC are reportedly deeply concerned about the cumulative effect these lawsuits might have on the show's reputation and bottom line. For Sunny, these parallel legal battles represent a serious challenge to her career. She isn't just an occasional panelist, she's one of the most prominent faces of the program. Media insiders speculate that the network will either dig in its heels to protect her, standing up for the principle of robust debate, or potentially distance itself if the legal costs become too high. Rumors even suggest that some producers have quietly mulled the possibility of reshuffling the show's lineup, worried that Sunny's outspoken style has become a liability. All this legal friction only further entangles Sunny's image. On one hand, supporters see her as a crusader for free speech, a straight talker who refuses to be muzzled. On the other hand, detractors argue her approach may have crossed professional boundaries, inviting legal repercussions. It's a delicate balance, and for a public figure who built a brand on legal acumen, being on the receiving end of multiple defamation suits could shake viewer confidence. As these cases move forward, the outcome will inevitably shape how Sunny navigates public discourse, and whether she retains the authority she once held as a respected legal voice. While Sunny grapples with lawsuits, a swirling undercurrent of tension behind the scenes of The View, is reportedly threatening to disrupt the entire show. Known for its vocal panelists and headline-making debates, the program thrives on strong personalities. But that same volatility can turn toxic under the right or wrong circumstances. Insiders claim that the producers walk a constant tightrope, balancing each host's unique style. Sunny's role has always been to bring serious legal gravitas, to interpret current events through a prosecutor's lens, and to challenge or affirm her co-hosts' views with concrete facts. However, the gravity of her own controversies has some staff members worried about the show's credibility. If viewers sense that Sunny's moral authority is compromised, they might switch to other daytime talk offerings, leaving The View vulnerable in a fiercely competitive market. Moreover, there's talk that Sunny's current legal battles are forcing the producers to implement stricter editorial guidelines. They may want to preempt on-air commentary that veers into legally hazardous territory. This move puts pressure on all the panelists who've built their success on spontaneity and unfiltered opinions. Some co-hosts might resent additional oversight, potentially straining the camaraderie that audiences find so appealing. Rumors also swirl about friction among the co-hosts themselves. Some of Sunny's colleagues reportedly feel her personal issues are casting a long shadow over the show, making every segment revolve around her in some form or another. Others might worry that siding too closely with her could taint their own reputations if the allegations against Manny intensify. It's a difficult situation. Maintain empathy for a co-worker under extreme stress, or distance oneself to avoid being dragged into her drama. Meanwhile, ABC's upper management is said to be closely monitoring the show's ratings and social media feedback. Outspoken or controversial hosts often drive viewership, but there's a tipping point where controversies become burdensome. Large-scale defamation suits are expensive to fight, even if they lack merit, and repeated legal wrangling over content might force the network to clamp down. Could we see The View evolve from its freewheeling style into something more carefully choreographed? Producers might also consider whether the entire brand of The View needs a refresh. Over its long history, the show has cycled through various hosts and controversies. Typically, that churn keeps things lively. But if Sunny's legal battles overshadow the panel's chemistry, it might be time for a recalibration. Some industry watchers wonder if a quieter phase for the show could be on the horizon. Fewer incendiary remarks, more polite debate, and a greater emphasis on safer, less divisive topics. Such a shift would be seismic for daytime television. The View has built its empire on bold opinions and fiery clashes. Dialing that back to avoid lawsuits could undermine the show's defining appeal. Yet, it might be the only way to protect the brand if litigation persists. This leaves Sunny in a precarious position. If she softens her approach to appease legal constraints, she could lose the edge that made her a standout. If she remains defiant, ABC may feel compelled to act decisively. For viewers, the behind-the-scenes chaos might be invisible, hidden behind the polished facade of the daily broadcast. But subtle signs could emerge. Fewer off-the-cuff arguments, more scripted transitions, or even new guest hosts subbing in with short notice. Watchers of the show may speculate about who's feuding with whom, or whether Sunny's seat might be replaced entirely. In a show that thrives on chatter, ironically, it might be the silences that speak the loudest, offering small hints that not all is well. Beyond the primary lawsuits and the rumored FBI collaboration, a number of smaller but equally intriguing controversies hover like a swarm of gnats around the Hostin name. Some relate to Manny's alleged vindictiveness, others to Sunny's past spats. Each mini-scandal keeps fans riveted, feeding the rumor machine that churns out endless speculation. One recurring tale is Manny's purported resentment towards Sunny's career focus. Sources say that while Manny dealt with the mounting pressure of a federal investigation, Sunny was busy filming segments and attending high-profile events, potentially leaving him feeling isolated. This story resonates with the public because it suggests deep personal conflict. Two successful individuals who might be moving in opposite directions during a crisis. That friction amplifies the possibility that Manny's rumored deal with authorities is fueled by bitterness toward a partner he believes abandoned him in his darkest hour. Another tidbit, allegations of Manny performing surgeries on rideshare drivers, Uber, Lyft, and taxi operators, in situations that appear medically dubious. Some gossip points to shady referral networks or questionable clinics funneling accident victims to Manny's practice. None of these allegations have been definitively proven, but they float around social media and the tabloids, keeping the narrative alive. They also create an image of Manny as opportunistic, willing to exploit the slightest bump or bruise for personal gain. Meanwhile, Sunny herself isn't immune to controversies from her past. Old footage occasionally resurfaces, showing her in heated debates where she made bold claims, some critics might say overblown statements, about other figures. In the wake of her own defamation suits, these clips feel like ironic foreshadowing, fueling the notion that Sunny's unfiltered style has been a double-edged sword all along. Online discussion boards revisit these old episodes, highlighting any perceived hypocrisy. Also, stirring the pot are rumors about how Manny and Sunny handle household finances. People close to the couple allegedly mention separate bank accounts, prenuptial agreements, or hush money for employees who might have seen too much. While these details remain unverified, they offer tantalizing angles for anyone hungry for more scandal. Are Manny and Sunny meticulously dividing assets in anticipation of a legal storm? Has Manny been stockpiling funds, anticipating a massive settlement or a need to flee potential criminal charges? Adding to the swirl of speculation, rumor has it that Manny's extended family might might be at odds with Sunny. Some claim Manny's relatives blame Sunny's outspoken nature for drawing unwanted public scrutiny to Manny's practice in the first place. Whether fair or not, such speculation stokes the perception of an internal family divide. Observers note that family tension is a potent driver of drama, especially when combined with hefty financial stakes. None of these smaller controversies, taken alone, would typically be enough to capture mainstream attention. Yet, in the context of Manny's major legal battles and Sunny's own defamation woes, each mini-scandal becomes a colorful thread in the larger tapestry. For viewers, this synergy is mesmerizing. Every rumor, no matter how minor, could be a clue that helps explain the bigger puzzle. It's classic high-retention fodder. Each fresh revelation promises to unlock yet another layer of the Hostin's labyrinthine life. When two high-profile individuals marry, they often become more than just spouses. They create a combined public persona, a brand that can attract sponsorships, media deals, and lucrative speaking engagements. Sunny and Manny had that aura: the intelligent, accomplished attorney who transitioned seamlessly into a TV career, and the reputable orthopedic surgeon quietly supporting her success. Together, they projected a polished image of professional excellence and unwavering stability. That empire now seems to stand on shaky ground. If the defamation suits are successful, Sunny could face monumental financial damages, not to mention a stain on her reputation that might hamper future broadcasting opportunities. Meanwhile, if Manny loses the insurance fraud case, or if he's forced to surrender assets under a rumored FBI deal, the couple might be left with a fraction of their current wealth. Picture the abrupt shift from million-dollar properties and lavish vacations to the burden of legal fees and potential bankruptcy. It's not just a financial fall, but a collapse of the public image they've so carefully crafted. Legal experts point out that the combination of a RICO lawsuit and defamation suits is rare for one family. Usually, you'd see separate crises, a personal scandal, maybe an on-air controversy, but not multiple high-stakes legal battles hitting simultaneously. The Hostin's predicament stands out because it represents a near-perfect storm of allegations from different corners: insurance companies, potential FBI involvement, public figures, and even extended whisper campaigns about marital issues. For Sunny in particular, the question of brand damage looms large. She has long positioned herself as the moral center on The View, often taking the high road on social issues. If the court of public opinion decides she's somehow complicit in Manny's alleged schemes, or that she recklessly smeared political figures and a former first lady, her credibility could evaporate. Sponsors might walk away. Producers could look for a less polarizing figure. Daytime TV is cutthroat, and networks typically prioritize ratings and reputation over loyalty to any single host. The potential financial fallout is equally dramatic. With triple damages possible under RICO, even a partial loss in court would be devastating. And while Manny's medical practice once supplied a steady stream of income, a criminal conviction or loss of his medical license could close that door for good. Suppose Manny truly did attempt to broker a deal that includes handing over substantial assets. In that scenario, the Hostin's high-rolling days could end abruptly. What about a plan B? Some wealthy couples pivot to new ventures in the wake of scandal, embracing the "any press is good press" philosophy. However, insurance fraud and potential spousal betrayal are not easy controversies to shrug off. If Manny is found guilty or even admits fault, institutions might blackball him from practicing medicine. Sunny, for her part, might find it challenging to pivot her brand back to serious legal commentary if the public perceives her as compromised. It's a stark reminder that a carefully built public persona can disintegrate under the weight of scandal. Fans who once admired the Hostins for their grace and intellect may feel betrayed if these allegations prove true. Even if they don't, the lingering shadow of the lawsuits alone could damage their standing for years. The empire, once shining and seemingly unassailable, could topple under the combined forces of legal action and relentless media scrutiny. The Hostins' potential downfall is more than a tragic love story. It's also a cautionary tale about how swiftly fortunes can shift when allegations go viral and the legal system takes notice. In a world where social media amplifies every rumor, maintaining control over the narrative becomes almost impossible. Once the court of public opinion passes judgment, rebuilding a tarnished name demands a level of transparency and sincerity that few public figures can genuinely muster. The ongoing drama surrounding Sunny Hostin and her husband Manny is a case study in how quickly a well-crafted public image can unravel. On paper, they looked unstoppable. Manny commanding respect as a top orthopedic surgeon, Sunny wielding her legal expertise on one of the most watched daytime shows in America. Yet behind that sheen of success, allegations of wide-scale insurance fraud, rumored FBI deals, defamation battles, and possible marital discord have converged to threaten everything they hold dear. The lawsuit against Manny is staggering in scope, accusing him of fraudulent medical practices that, if proven, could cost him his career and cost both of them their financial security. The possibility that he might be cooperating with federal authorities casts a looming shadow over Sunny. Even if she's legally insulated, her association with Manny could erode the trust viewers have in her moral judgments. Meanwhile, Sunny's separate defamation run-ins with Senator Fetterman and Melania Trump illustrate how her trademark candor, a quality that made her a standout media personality, could also become her Achilles heel. When you pull back to look at the bigger picture, the questions multiply. Did Sunny really have no inkling of Manny's alleged activities, or did she simply look the other way? Is Manny's rumored FBI cooperation a self-preservation tactic, or an act of vindictiveness born from emotional distance in the marriage? Will The View few remain loyal to Sunny despite the swirling controversies? Or will ABC ultimately decide the liability is too great? As viewers and fans, we're left in the uncomfortable role of spectators, uncertain whether we're witnessing the unraveling of a genuine love story or a carefully curated facade. Public figures often thrive on transparency, but when the spotlight reveals too much, the stage can become a place of harsh consequences. The Hostins may rally, proving their naysayers wrong, or we could watch a high-profile couple disintegrate under the dual weight of public scorn and legal jeopardy. In the end, this story hinges on accountability, integrity, and the power of secrets. Whether Manny's alleged missteps become Sunny's downfall remains to be seen. The only thing we know for sure is that the stakes are sky high, and they're only getting higher. For now, the best we can do is keep our eyes open and our minds curious, waiting to see whether Sunny Hostin will stand tall in the storm or fall victim to forces that might be too big for even her considerable resolve. Will this be a story of redemption or ruin? The final chapters have yet to be written, and in the world of daytime television and legal drama, that means anything can happen. Thank you for staying with this unfolding story. Feel free to reflect on your own take, whether you believe Sunny Hostin is an unwitting casualty of her husband's alleged misdeeds, or a shrewd player in a bigger game of cat and mouse. Is Manny the villain the lawsuits paint him to be, or just another doctor caught in the crosshairs of a ruthless system? The answers remain elusive, but one thing is clear: as more details come to light, the tension will only intensify. Stay tuned for further developments in this ever-evolving saga.